Welcome to my training. I'm sure you've opted in to dozens of video series. And every time there's a huge promise. And so ours is going to be no different. We're going to make you a single promise. And that promise is that we're going to be blunt, we're going to be direct, and we're not going to try and become your best friend during this video series. All right? I'm not going to try and convince you to do business with us. The whole purpose of these videos is to try and show you why you're not closing more sales. Okay? And in this video series, we're going to show you exactly what it is you do to fix this. In every video in this series, there's going to be several factors within your control, well within your control, that don't require any investment at all on your part to fix in order to grow your profits. Sound good? Okay. So the first thing I want to tell you is when we're talking about growing profits, we want to be defining what winning is. All right. So when I sit down with a company, any company I'm about to work with, there's a single question that I always start our conversations with. Where are you going as a company from a profit standpoint? Obviously, you want to be profitable and you want to be more profitable. Okay? Because I need you to define what winning means. I need you to tell me where we're going. Because where you are right now and where you're going and where you want to go to, those are two different things. So if, for example, you're doing 1 million a year and you want to be doing 2 million a year, that's going to require you to develop a different strategy. So the strategy you use right now has gotten you to 1 million a year. Or maybe it's gotten you to 50 million. Maybe it's gotten you to 10 million. But it's not going to get you where you want to go without doing some evaluation. So the first thing I'm going to ask you to do is invest a little time, do a little evaluation, and some consideration of change. I'm not asking you to change. I'm not forcing you to change. The first thing you need to do is agree that your strategy needs to be evaluated. Because strategy is what you do to win profits. So what you're going to learn, not in today's video, but in the second video, is who you're losing to. There's actually 5 forces that your company is losing those profits to. How you beat them is your strategy. All right, so a strategy is just an integrated set of choices that your company makes on how to beat those 5 forces. And by the way, those 5 forces, for example, one of them is rivals. Big problem for realtors. Each of those 5 forces are costing you money. And you need a strategy for each and every one of those 5 forces. So the first thing that I want you to figure out here is that going where you want to go, beating those 5 forces, is not going to happen using the strategy you have now. You're not going to be able to make it happen with your existing strategy. All right, so going forward, I'm going to give you an idea about strategy. All right, a strategy that you might want to consider. So when you look at your marketplace, you see faces. You see tall, you see short, you see male, you see female. In 2018, you're going to need to change your strategy. Demographic targeting is not going to get you where you want to go. Right now, each and every one of these people is actively researching a product. They're researching multiple products online. What you have to be able to do is use behavioral targeting to find those people that are actively pursuing a relationship with a realtor, getting ready to buy or sell a property. Right, so when you take that phrase, actively pursuing, they're doing research. So the first thing this should tell you is that your advertising, your marketing, should be customer-centric. It should be talking about their problems. Because consumers don't research solutions first. They research problem first. And then once they understand their problem fully, they're better educated to seek out a solution. Now, as a business owner, that's your cue. if you're a company that is educating them about their problem, then you're sitting pole position on how to be their solution. It's a basic fundamental of sales that you have to build a relationship before you sell. This is how you do it digitally, okay? In the third video that we're going to talk about, we'll talk about where all sales start. Okay? Because there's two very specific places. And if you know where those two places are, then you can leverage behavioral targeting online. So when you look at this screen, your business needs to know when they look at this screen. You don't need to see male or female. Don't look at the demographics. Those don't matter. The color represents behavior. And your job is to understand that there are a set of behaviors that lead up to a purchase. And your strategy should be, from this day forward, the behaviors that lead up to them working with a realtor. So if, for example, I'm buying a car, there's a series of things that you can do before visiting a car dealership. Every industry has that, especially real estate. Okay? And once you understand what you're looking at, you will not just see, and let's take, for example, let's take the red. The red represents the behavior of people who are actively pursuing. Those are typically the 3% of your market that are actively ready to sign with a realtor. They are your greatest probability for profits, your quickest path to profit, the best use of your company's resources for profit, and the largest opportunity today for your company to profit. So if your idea is to advertise to everybody on this screen, hoping to hit the reds, that's a failed strategy. Yes, eventually you're going to get a sale from that, but your hope as a company is that you don't waste so much money on the other colors in search of the red. What you should hope to achieve is to only advertise to people that are in market, actively pursuing a realtor, actively getting ready to engage in a real estate transaction. Those are your high probability prospects. And what you don't know is killing you. And that's where most companies fail. You have to know what you don't know. And that's where the challenge is. Now, when I started this video, I asked you to be open-minded and ready to explore change. There are technologies that we're going to talk about in the videos following this one that will show you exactly what you don't know. Okay? 3% of knowledge is what you know. 7% of knowledge is what you know you don't know. For example, I know that I can't drive a submarine. 90% is what you don't know you don't know. When you look at that screen above, there's technology out there. We have that technology, and we're going to be able to show you how you can look at that screen and know exactly who the reds are. And only red. And in turn, that screen becomes all red. There's no more advertising to the haystack to find the needle. The best use of your resources, the quickest path to profit, is to only advertise to the people that are actively in market. Only advertise to the red. You need to be doing that starting yesterday. If you get nothing else out of this video series, and it's the reason you should stick around and watch all of the videos, is there is a lot going on in the world. For example, a concept called people-based marketing. And that's the ability to recognize and run ads to either a past customer or a prospect on all their devices, on any marketing platform, online or offline. That technology exists, and that's the marketing that you should be doing. It's going to find the red, and it's only going to advertise to the red. And when you can target people by name, meaning you know who they are, not in the ad like, "Hey, John, how are you?" But you start with a manifest of people, a list of people that you can advertise to, and then you compare the sales at the end, and you can give proper attribution to C, and you can track every dollar at every single channel on every single device, online or offline, is being utilized. So when I say to you, only targeting, people-based, in-market, what I'm saying is that this is the best use of your limited resources. Because at the end of the day, this is the formula that matters. Okay, for you to be profitable, it's price minus cost. If you're advertising to the haystack, your cost goes up. And when the cost goes up in this formula, your profits go down. All right? So if you're advertising to everybody, instead of advertising to the people that are ready to work with a realtor right now, and you don't have a system to tell you when those people are coming into the marketplace, getting ready to work with a realtor, getting ready to engage in a real estate transaction, you're not going to be able to get a premium price. Because if somebody gets to them first, they're going to have what's called frame control. They're going to be able to control the perspective of how that person sees the problem and therefore the solution. Your competitor is going to define what the value is. They're going to set the buying criteria for that prospect, and you're going to struggle to get a premium price. Now, the definition of competitive advantage is either get premium price or lower cost or both. It's possible for you to get both. Okay? In every instance, you can do this. Now, this is not a formula. This is a fact. You compete against 5 forces, and we're going to cover that in the next video. And I'm going to show you how these 5 forces affect your profits. And if you don't have a strategy, and I've given you the beginnings of a strategy, okay, just the beginning of how you're going to compete against these 5 forces. When you get up every morning, these are the only 5 forces that you have to beat. And we're going to cover this in the next video. See you then. Thank you.